Cybertron, the home world we Autobots have strived to protect from the Decepticons, can no longer sustain us. Eons of civil war have caused the greatest of casualties. Our planet's very core has shut down, halting its production of life-giving energon. Most of us have abandoned our home in hopes of finding a new life among the stars. I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. We do not know how many of our brothers escaped Megatron's blockade. I can only be certain of this. Just one transport remains.
Hey everyone, this is Grumpy, and I will be doing the review of Transformers Fall of Cybertron. The Fall of Cybertron starts where War for Cybertron left off. These are the final hours of Cybertron, and it's an all-out war. The controls are the same, and the graphics have gotten an upgrade. Just like War for Cybertron, the campaign is split into two, the Autobots and the Decepticons, so you'll be able to experience both sides of the story as the battle for survival rages on. This time around though, High Moon Studio has taken out the campaign co-op and also taken out the ability to choose which Autobot or Decepticon you wanted to be and just gave you one. The campaign is epic on a huge scale. Seeing Metroplex in action makes you feel small. There are explosions and gunfights everywhere, making Michael Bay look cheap. The story is darker and more emotional, which is a good thing considering this is a battle for survival. In most games you don't ever really get into the survivalist trying to survive. There are collectibles to get throughout the campaign, and if you hit the pause button it will tell you how many audio logs there are in the chapter and how many blueprints. Blueprints are new to the game, which can be used to buy new weapons from the store. Also, every time you kill an enemy you collect shards, which are like currency to also use in the store for weapons and upgrades. I don't really like the idea of having to stop at a store to purchase upgrades or weapons. I would much rather have a straight out story with no upgrades or experience system. While the story and action is top notch, it does get a little lackluster at times. But overall I would give the campaign aspect an 8 out of 10. The lack of co-op, lack of not being able to choose which Autobot or Decepticon you want, and sometimes lackluster story bring it down. But there is always a plus side to this, Grimlock. So if Michael Bay wants some pointers on how to do a good Transformers, I think he should play Fall of Cybertron. The concept is still the same from War for Cybertron. Escalation is a co-op based mode where you and 3 others must hold out for 15 waves of enemies. I know with games like Gears of War having 50 waves or Call of Duty having unlimited, you may be thinking 15 waves is nothing. But it's actually quite challenging if you have a team that's not communicating. Luckily, High Moon Studios never fixed the game mechanic where you can drain your ammo in one gun, transform into your car, drain that ammo, and your main gun will have reloaded. There is of course the alternative where you can transform into your vehicle, boost up to the enemy, transform again, melee, then get out of there. While there is a matchmaking feature for escalation, I wouldn't trust it for the same reason that I don't like playing any co-op mode online. People won't work together. But I'd much rather have the randoms than to only be able to play with people on my friends list. We still only have 4 maps for escalation, but I'm pretty sure that there will be some DLC for it just like War for Cybertron. The game mode is really a lot of fun. I enjoy it a lot more than I do other horde type games. I'd give the escalation aspect an 8 out of 10. It lost some points when I kept dropping out due to bad connections, but that's really the only problem I found with it. The multiplayer now features a create your own character, where you can make your own transformer by changing the armor, loadouts, and your personality. You can change the color, the voice, and the name. There are still 4 classes to choose from. Infiltrator, which is your smallest and fastest class, much like the soldier class, so you can get in and out of battle quickly. Their specialty is obviously stealth. The second class is a destroyer, which is your heavier armored group. Their special ability is diffraction barrier, which blocks enemy fire for a short time. The third class is Titan, which is your tank and heavy firing class. Their special ability is whirlwind, which spins your character around for a short time. This doesn't make you invincible, so use at your own discretion. Last but not least, we have the Scientist class, which is your medic in the battlefield. There are 4 different play types to choose from: Team Deathmatch, Conquest, Capture the Flag, and Headhunter. Team Deathmatch and Capture the Flag are pretty self-explanatory. Conquest is much like a domination game mode, and Headhunter is where you have to destroy the enemy and collect the shards. The first team to acquire 30 shards wins. Prime mode also makes a return to the multiplayer and is achievable after you have maxed out all the classes. The multiplayer hasn't been tweaked too much, which is a good thing, because the first one was awesome. High Moon really took the saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and what was broke, they did fix. I would give the multiplayer an 8 out of 10. Overall, I would give Transformers Fall of Cybertron an 8 out of 10, with the lackluster story at times, the laggy multiplayer, and the few maps for multiplayer and escalations. With as short as the story is, there should have been more focus on either making the story longer or more maps for multiplayer and escalation. But we all know that map packs are coming. We hope you enjoyed our review of Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for future reviews and unboxings. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and follow us on Twitch TV. Thanks.